Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming today. Sorry about the voice. I'm fighting a cold, so you're going to hear it be a little scratchy today, but we'll get through this. And I appreciate when this my colleagues moved this meeting to the afternoon. Got to spend some time yesterday and today, Commissioner Lavasey and Tony and I at the CCAO Summer Symposium, and they had some really good presentations about some of the things that are going on at the state level, and I learned some things, and I imagine they did too. And weird times ahead, but we're going to figure out how to get through them together. So to be able to attend that this morning, I need to move the meeting to this afternoon. So I appreciate everyone's willingness to do that. The first item we have on our agenda is a listen and learn from Economic Development Director Rick Szabrak.
Thank you, everyone, for the time. So with me today, Anthony Iacchini and Vince Carpico from our team, and they will be doing most of the heavy lifting today. But I will like to just kick things off, and it's working. Awesome. So today we're going to talk about managing growth, preparing for. So we look at what we do. Part of what we're trying to do, we did this comprehensive plan a year ago, was to help manage growth, to make sure that we're growing where we want to grow, and that we are, we know the region's going to grow, we know the county's going to grow. How can we make sure it doesn't take away a lot of the assets that make Fairfield County what it is? How do we prepare for development? It's a long process. If you look at Rockville Industrial Park, that took a good 10 to 15 years to really get that ready. If it wasn't for the vision of people like Mike Pettit at the time and the city of Lancaster saying, hey, we want this to be ready down the road, and focus more on immediate returns, something like that would never have happened. We want to then make sure we're promoting the county for business attraction, making sure that we're supporting the ag industry, which is still really important to Fairfield County, assist with our current businesses, whether that means retaining them and keeping them here, or helping them expand. I was actually at the business expansion meeting this morning, talking to a company that's been doing pretty well and been in this town for a long time, and they're looking for another expansion, which was great to hear. And then how do we work with the region to capitalize on the opportunities that are coming? So with that said, I'm going to hand it off to Anthony to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're looking at in managing growth.
Thank you, Rick. Everybody, Anthony Iacchini. So as Rick stated, we did our land use plan last year, and two of the key things from that were managing the growth where it happens. So basically for our industrial growth, we want to focus along the 33 corridor and northern part of the county. That's where a lot of the industrial growth we see happening over the next 10, 15 years. Housing growth, that's probably going to happen adjacent to the villages and the cities. As cities expand, villages expand. That's where we see most of the housing most likely popping up here in the future. Speaking of the housing, because of that, currently our department, along with the city of Lancaster, we're completing a housing study with consultants from Ninnegrit Partners and Planning Next. And with that study, we're looking at our current housing stock, so what we already have in the county, taking an inventory of that and finding any gaps that we have. So where it makes sense, put housing in the future, and what kind of housing. So do we have a shortage of senior housing? We have a shortage of affordable middle income housing, things like that. So basically, it will give us a better idea of what we can promote to developers of the type of housing we need in this county, and the gaps that we have. And also one of the main points is understand how this will impact schools. A lot of times when you talk about housing, one of the main questions is, are the schools going to be able to handle more kids, more people, more houses? So we want to get actual data and actual numbers to provide the school districts to say, hey, if this many houses or this many units comes to your district, this is how many students you should be able to expect. So we want to be able to work with our school districts when housing or any type of development is coming to make sure they're able to handle what would be coming in the future. Another thing we're working on is site preparedness. So this is when we have a site that is developed, making sure that we are doing everything to get that prepared for proper development. That means working with our utility providers that are listed there to make sure we have capacities that are suitable for development. Because if you don't have the capacities on the utility side, you're pretty much not going to develop the site. So that's step number one. And then working with regional planning and our townships to make sure we have zoning in place. That's pretty much step number two. If you don't have zoning, utilities, the site's not going to develop. So working with our state partners, site selectors, things like that to market our sites that we do have available when they are ready to be developed to make sure we can promote those sites and promote Fairfield County. We want to invest in our communities. So when we are working with developers, we do utilize different incentives and things like that. But we want to make sure that it's clear to developers that it's not a free ride if you're coming to Fairfield County. They will have to contribute many times to utility development, whether that's improvements to water, wastewater. They're going to pay their fair share as well in order to receive incentives. We're going to hold them accountable to job numbers and investment numbers that they promise. So if they're not meeting those numbers, we will have the right to claw back some of those incentives if numbers, jobs, or investment aren't reached in a certain time period. So we're very aware of that and make sure we put that in all of our development agreements that we do have with different developers. So I spoke about this last year. This is just one of the projects. So this is Boswell Western Road up in Walnut Township. This is an aerial view of some of the sites that we're currently working on developing in partnership with Canal Winchester. As some of the sites are within Canal Winchester, some are in the township. Bottom right-hand corner there is DHO. That site was completed last year. Boswell Western Logistics right there in the middle and Canal Commerce Center. Those are two sites in Walnut Township. And then the future development sites are sites within Canal Winchester. Those are all sites along that corridor that we have identified as potential development sites. Just to go through some of that real quickly. DHL, that building was finished last year, 755,000 square foot building. They have committed to over 200 jobs by 2028 on that site. It was a $58 million investment. They will be paying $1.5 million for the road improvements that will be happening on that site to alleviate the turn down by King East. So there will be quite a bit of road work going on that corridor. They did this year pay their first $150,000 to the local school districts in order to get their property tax abatement. Approximately $150,000 to Pickerington local schools, with about $7,500 to Eastland Fairfield Career Tech. That was determined based on previous tax amounts. And because of this and the jobs promised, we were able to secure a $1.2 million 629 infrastructure grant from the Ohio Department of Development for the road improvements along that corridor. Also, Western Logistics was another one of the sites I discussed. Right now, we have completed our agreements with them. They will be building 3 separate speculative warehouses on that site, approximately 553,000 square feet. It'll be about a $30 to $35 million investment. We have secured the right-of-way along that site for the road improvements, and their construction is scheduled to begin early next year on their first building. We are assisting them in marketing those sites as well to find tenants for those buildings. This is just a layout of the site and what it will look like. Building 1 and 2, or building 1A, 1B, two smaller ones. They'll be starting, I believe, with building 2, the larger 224,000 square foot building. Now, Commerce Center, which is right across the street, so on the south side of Boswell Western Road, that's a 16-acre site. We're currently negotiating with them, but they're looking at it'll be smaller, so 4 smaller 24,000 square foot buildings and 2 approximately 10,000 square foot storage buildings. Total square footage will be a little over 100,000. And this helps meet one of the needs that is in central Ohio. There is a lack of smaller buildings, so this helps with that. Smaller Fed warehouse buildings are needed, according to our partners at Mount Columbus, and they're harder and harder to find. So we're hoping this will help with our inventory and help add some needed space for new business. A preliminary sketch of what they're looking at on that site. And now I will pass it over to Vince Carpico with our team to talk about some of the other things are.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Morning, this afternoon. So I'm going to run through a couple of things that I'm working on. Wanted to touch on the ag industry. Our department is involved with the Fairfield Growing Initiative through Regional Planning Commission. So that group meets quarterly, and we recently just hosted the State of Ag event. So thank a couple of you there for attending. That group also submitted a USDA grant for a regional food system partnership opportunity. So that's a grant opportunity where Fairfield's leading with 10 other counties. So working with those guys, get that submitted, and should hear back from that in November. Our department is represented on the Visitors Convention Bureau. So that is, our travel and tourism. Jeanette talks a lot about agritourism and the economic impact that ag and tourism can benefit Fairfield County. And then, as Rick and Anthony's mentioned, using that comprehensive plan and focusing on those certain areas. The 33 Development Alliance meets quarterly as well. This year we submitted our IRS paperwork for 501c6 Business League nonprofit. So previously we were recognized with the state as a nonprofit, but this allows us to kind of formalize that organization and perhaps look for additional grant opportunities. For Little Snake Creek, we're going to have our annual economic update. That's in December every year. So we were able to secure the Cleveland Federal Reserve Bank. So look for a save the date on that. We're going back and forth between 2 dates. So that will be mid-December. And also updated our website. So that's a little screenshot from the website. So a lot of information on that as well. I'd like to mention our revolving loan fund. We want to, help, small businesses with low interest rates. So it's not a grant anymore. It never was a grant, but low interest loans. So we want to target downtown businesses in all of our communities. There's certain industries that we like to focus on. Right now, I will point out that the 2 loans we did this year were for $50,000 and $75,000. When I'm talking with bankers and just people in general, that's kind of our wheelhouse. 50 to 75, we've done much smaller. We've done some larger, but that's kind of been our sweet spot. So right now, our portfolio is 30 loans on the books for $1 million receivables that comes in. We lend it back out to the next business. And right now we have still $1 million to lend out. So talking with lenders and CPAs, accountants, just making sure that people are aware that that program is available. And we're also updating our governing document. So every 5 years, we update that plan document. And then finally, the Port Authority. You can utilize the Port Authority to help with the development of land. We've talked about for whether the Port Authority could own the land. Generally, we have leased the land back to the developer and taken advantage of that sales tax abatement, the sales tax exemption. So that savings, 6.75% on building materials. If you're talking millions of dollars of materials, that those numbers start to add up, and that can make that can make the difference on whether the project can work. So, and we've also just very early talked about bonding. So the Port Authority does have the ability to issue bonds. Had initial conversations with Baird and still very early on, but that is a possibility, something to keep in mind for the future.
And just real quick, just a few things. I mentioned regionalism. As Columbus grows, so grows we. And I've been lucky to be on the president of the Mid-Ohio Development Exchange, which is a group of economic developers across the region. I'm also on the executive committee for One Columbus, which has really allowed Fairfield County to get a seat at the table. We normally haven't. I'm the only non-Franklin County representative on that executive committee. So I kind of speak for the neighboring counties often on what our needs are. It does not go unheard, and it's always nice to hear them say, "So Rick in Fairfield County," when you're around the table with the heads of Nationwide Insurance, Ohio Health, and other large industries from the region. So, but we're going to continue to see growth. And one of the things when I first got here was I always wondered why, especially in northwest part of the county, we didn't have a lot more office projects and focus on, there were a lot more insurance companies were expanding. There were a lot more back office type things that were popping up. And now with the advent of AI and the expansion of AI, I'm so thankful that we never had any of those, because those are the jobs that are really most at risk, which is a little scary because Columbus has leaned on those for a long time. But now that 70% of our leads for One Columbus are manufacturing leads. Our focus has been in manufacturing for a long time, and we are, as Anthony said, trying to prepare as many sites as possible to be ready for manufacturing. We've leaned on Lancaster, Canal Winchester for our growth in industrial, and they're running out of room. So if we want to continue to grow as a county, we need to find new places to find that industrial growth. So that's why we did this comprehensive plan. We see a lot of that growth along 33, along the northern part of the county, where it makes sense, where the utilities make sense, and where the our villages and townships want to be partners to it. So this is our quick economic development snapshot. We have a busy agenda today, so we wanted to keep it as fairly condensed as possible, but we're open for as many questions as.
Appreciate that. Commissioner Davis, do you have questions? Commissioner Lavasey?
No, but Rick, Vince, and Anthony.
So I think, excuse me, the way that we have elbowed our way into Mode and One Columbus is a tribute to you and the respect that those groups have for you. We're fortunate to have a seat at the table. So, to your whole team, thank you. Keep up the good work.
Right. Thanks for all your support. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, next up we have Cody Tatum from Harkham House. Welcome, Cody.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Hello, everybody. Again, my name is Cody Tatum. I'm the Executive Director of Harkham House. But today I am here as a friend and partner of the Citizens to Protect the Children and Elderly. Very, very fortunate and excited to be able to tell you guys about the 9th annual Blue Ribbon Run that is actually coming up. So that run is going to be Saturday, September 20th. It's going to start at 9 a.m. and that's going to be at Victory Park over in Pickerington. So we've got a couple important things to know as far as dates coming up for that. The cutoff to register to get a shirt is going to be September the 1st. So we'd also love to see any sponsors that want to help out with that jump on board by September 1st as well to make sure that their names are going to be represented. You might be wondering the same thing I did. I maybe am not the first person you think of when you think of a run, but I have been assured that while there's some timekeeping for those people who are competitive, they will have that. This is also a fun family event. So it's been encouraged to bring family out and take that at your own pace and enjoy it. Also encouraged to have our furry friends come out. So if you have pets that you want to come along with you. So again, it should be a really fun event. And this is really all just to raise awareness for those most vulnerable citizens of our county, as with our children and our elderly populations. I know a lot of you in this room are extremely understanding of those causes, and certainly ones that are personal to me as well. So I'm very, very thankful to be able to support my friends, with the Citizens to Protect the Children and the Elderly. Looking very forward to the event. Harden House will have a booth out there handing out some information as well. So I've got some flyers that I'm going to pass around if everyone's okay kind of handing those off. But any other questions you can ask, and really, really appreciate the time to share about that event coming up. Again, September 1st, if you want a shirt.
Commissioner Davis.
Cody, always good to see you. I know it's not why you're here, but I'm curious how Harden House is doing. I know y'all had some trouble there, and how'd that go for you, and what's your situation now?
Yeah, well, I definitely appreciate that, sir, very much. It's been a hectic few weeks, probably several weeks now for the county, as you well know, since the festival and the flooding and everything. So, Harden House did experience some significant loss. We're no longer in that building currently, as there's renovations going on. But sir, I can tell you that this community, as it has time and again, really rallied around us. We were presented with multiple options on a place to land to keep seeing kids, and that's exactly what we've done. So we're actually downtown, really close to you all now. Above United Way, we're still able to see kids and partners and make sure that those services are still happening. So, and in a situation that could have gone a lot of different directions, we landed very much on our feet. We're still serving kids, and we're really moving forward on our forever space as well. So, in a good spot. I really appreciate you asking.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Commissioner Levesey.
Obviously, we very difficult time with the flooding that occurred, and it's very nice to hear that you're able to continue your good work. On another note, your fundraiser, if you will. So, what's the level of participation?
But definitely want to get as many people out to the run as we can. We have a couple different sponsorship levels. So just for a t-shirt sponsor, that's $250, and then corporate at $5, and event sponsors at $1,000. I've got some more information for what that entails. I think the beautiful thing about this event and really about the organization is just we have a lot of people that are involved in, whether it's professionally or personally, in wanting to make sure lives are safe in this county. And this is just a way to bring all those people together at that event at Victory Park, and just kind of share in that solidarity.
I'd love to help. So
Definitely will, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Captain Alex Senek. Senek? How do you pronounce that?
Pretty close, Senek.
Senek. All right. Captain Alex is what I'm going to call you.
There we go.
We also have Bob Heath, who's on the board of the Salvation Army. Welcome to Fairfield County. Excited to have you here and forward to hearing from you.
Well, I didn't know if I was coming up here, so it's good to know that I am.
Now you know.
Now I know. I am new. My wife and I have been here, I think, 8 weeks now. We come from the state of Delaware, not to be confused with Delaware. We come with 4 kids and a dog named Bill. So we're, I met with Ani and met this afternoon with Carrie, and we're just happy to be here. I'm the son of a Salvation Army officer, so I've grown up in this ministry, and I really the mission of the Salvation Army. And as I've been kind of making my way around the community, introducing myself, really trying to listen, I would say my wife and I are in a bit of a honeymoon stage with Lancaster. We really see a lot of connectivity. We really see a lot of support, not just for the Salvation Army, but for a lot of nonprofits. So we're tickled to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Yeah.
You got some big shoes to fill. I'm sure you've heard that.
Yeah.
But
Another good thing about, Major Brian is he didn't go too far away, and he's in Cincinnati, and his job is property. So he has to pick up my calls when I call him about property. So he can't avoid it.
Well, we certainly wish you all the best. And if there's anything we can do to be supportive, hopefully you'll reach out.
Yeah, and we're here to answer questions. And to me, we're really people. So coffee, lunch, that's what we're here for.
Commissioner Davis, any questions or comments?
Just welcome to Fairfield County. You're finding out quick. I know it's a wonderful community to be a part of.
It is.
Particularly in recent years, the Commissioner's Office has had a working relationship with the Salvation Army. look forward to it.
Yeah, we appreciate that tremendously.
Commissioner Levesey?
So your capital program, how's that going?
We've raised $2.4 million. We're in, to complete the renovation, the whole project, or at least to finish, to pay off the loan of the Golden Corral and to renovate that building, we need to get to 4.5. So that's the goal we're setting. So
We're at 2.4.
We're at 2.4.
Thank you.
We want to get to 4.5.
It sounded like 24 million, and I'm like, man, what are you building out there?
You know, God can do amazing things. So 2.4, yeah.
So I've heard a number up to 7 million.
Yeah.
Is that for additional building?
Yeah, there's 3 phases of the project. We're setting our eyes on phase 1, which is to complete, to pay off the loan of the Golden Corral and to renovate that is 4.5 million. If we are able to get up to 7, we'll be able to add a community center and also a new chapel. We set our eyes on 4.5, you know, bit by bit.
We hope you get to 7.
I want to get to 7.
Captain Alex, thank you for being here today and thank you for your mission.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Mr. Heath, did you have anything you wanted to add? All right, thank you for being here today. Thank you, sir. All right, this is the time we set aside for public comments. If you'd like to address the commission, please step forward to the podium, state your name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes as we have a very full agenda today. Who would like to be first?
Good afternoon. Stephanie Taylor, Habitat for Humanity of Southeast Ohio. I enjoyed hearing the economic update information as it was kind of related to what I wanted to share today. A little bit around the social return on investment that happens when we do some of our projects and things within this county. So back in 2018, we partnered with the Voinovich School at Ohio University to conduct a social return on investment study. And I always want to read this because I want to make sure I get it correct. The social return on investment is a measurement tool that measures the economic value of social impact investment for returns to specific stakeholders or to society generally in terms of cost avoided, such as increased healthcare costs or benefits attained. So we use this tool internally to measure how each dollar impacts the social return on investment with our projects. So Project Playhouse is our big September projects. We're doing 2 through Rotary. We're doing the big event out at the Workforce Center at the end of September like we do every year. This is the 5th year we've done it, if you can believe it. And then we'll do one with St. Mary's in the spring next year. In total, that's 10 playhouses that will benefit families and organizations within our community, including Big Brothers Big Sisters, the Book Nook there. AHA will receive their 3rd, and the rest are all families within the community. And we will raise roughly $40,000 from all 10 of those. But then we always say the little houses go to build the big houses. And based on our social return on investment study, every dollar that is invested into Habitat and the projects that we do, it creates a social return on investment of $59. So if you do the quick math on that, which I had to use a calculator, I will admit, it comes out to that $40,000 reinvests into that $2,360,000. So if you can imagine what we're doing just in Fairfield County with 2 homes a year, roughly, and each one of those we're raising somewhere around $120,000 per, plus the extra that we're raising with our other funds. That impact is significant. And soon I'll be sharing more around what that social return on investment impact looked like with the ARP funding that the county provided to us several years ago. So wanted to share what that impact looks like and just mention that $1 really does make a very large impact. So thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate you being here today.
And Stephanie, from our meeting yesterday with CCAO, I have some information to share with you, so don't run off until I can get that to you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Who would be next, please? Afternoon, Sherry.
Sherry Pymer, 3464 South Bank Road, Northeast, Walnut Township. You knew I'd be here. In my 73 years, I have been disappointed, extremely disappointed, 3 times in my life. The decision on the solar project, Eastern Cottontail, is number 3. So you know how bad we feel about it. There may be somebody online, I don't know if you have online people today, but I've received 2 letters from a lady that keeps sending me information and asking about the project and saying, don't give up. We are not giving up. Just because OPSB made the decision, which we believe was not based on facts. So the fight goes on. We will ask for a rehearing, which is, we've already contacted our attorney. And I just wanted to let you know that there are some inconsistencies that have been made between the 2 projects of Carnation and Eastern Cottontail. Last year and a half, there's been a fear of being sued by the solar company. And if the commissioners had opposed the specific project, and now you as commissioners have opposed the specific project of Carnation, and both projects are grandfathered, or at least partially grandfathered. So just to let you know, we are gathering our thoughts and fighting on. And we have until, I think it's 30 days from August 21st of the decision to file our request for rehearing, and we will do so.
Sherry? Who would be next, please? Going once. Going twice. All right, thank you all for being here today. We appreciate it. Austin, do you have a legal update?
No legal update today, Commissioner.
All right, thank you for being here. County administration update, Ani?
So next week's meeting will take place on September the 4th, which is a Thursday at, I believe that's at 10 a.m. Yes, that's okay. At 10 a.m. There's not a meeting on Tuesday, September the 2nd, nor Tuesday, September the 9th. The review packet does contain a list of administrative approvals, and got a couple resolutions of note here for you. Facilities has a resolution to approve the contract bid award to Boyna Environmental LLC for the payment drive-through renovation project for an amount of $117,346. And JFS does have a resolution authorizing the prevention, retention, and contingency plan between JFS and the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services. And we do have a Family Services Planning Committee, which is the executive committee for Family and Children First Council. They are the group that reviews that prior to it coming here to the commissioners for their vote there. Bart, any budget review?
Just a reminder to everybody that the level 3 budget entry access ends tomorrow. As far as we know, we don't have any issues. Also, a sales tax update. Sales tax came in. We're currently about $804,000 better than last year, or that's about 4.72%. Of that, non-auto is up 4.99%, and auto is up 5.66%.
All right, thank you, Bart. Rochelle, calendar review and invitations received.
Thank you. Kingsbury Senior Living will host their grand opening on August 27th at 11 a.m. at their new facility located at 1572 Timber Top Street. The next Veterans Hall of Fame meeting is August 28th at noon. 2 invitations were received. The first for the Event Center at Violet Woods, formerly known as the Wigwam. Violet Township is hosting an open house on September 7th from 1 to 6 p.m. at 10190 Black Lick Eastern Road. And the second invitation was for the Promise and Payback event featuring Andrew Opdyke from First Trust Portfolios on October 2nd at 7:30 a.m. at the Mill Event Center. The commissioners received the following correspondence. The Columbus Housing Partnership Incorporated, VA Homeport, sent a notice regarding the Pheasant Run rental community. The Ohio EPA sent a notice regarding the issuance of a Class 3 draft permit modification to Service Solutions U.S. Incorporated. The City of Lancaster Planning and Zoning Department sent notice of a rezoning hearing for 3790 Wilson Road. An email was received from Representative David Thomas regarding property value updates, and the commissioners also received correspondence regarding industrial solar projects. That is it.
Can I ask what the promise and payback thing is?
That's the Park National Bank. That's you did not want.
Yeah, I know that. I just didn't understand what it was. All right,
I don't want to go either.
that's, yeah. All right, cool. Department heads and elected officials, Holly, we're gonna start with you. All right, Dr. David Gold.
Thank you.
Okay. I see you hiding back there, Tiff.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Okay. Brandon Meyer,
Thank
Dr. Brown.
Good afternoon. The sexennial update informal hearings continue, and we've conducted more than 800 thus far. We will get to more than 1,000. Very good information that's coming our way, and continue to update that and give you summaries of that. And we'll remind everybody that the formal option with the board of revision, the filing dates are January through March 2026. There have been some folks who advise them to file January through March. From the finance side, the annual financial information report has been updated and completed for the bond rating. The federal audit has concluded, and there are no findings, there are no comments, and we are now considered a low-risk auditee. It's a very good thing. It'll save the expense of a federal audit as we move forward to the future. And other things relating to community engagement, I was very happy to hold a fundraiser for Harkham House at my home this past weekend. It was very successful, and also was very appreciative of conducting presentations for DDL and for the seniors at the expo at the fairgrounds this past weekend. As we move forward into other things that we're doing coming up in the next couple of weeks, just wanted to mention that we're going to hold a United Way, just an office-wide event to support United Way and Lutheran Social Services and Community Action, and it'll be held at Lutheran Redeemer. All of the staff is going to be connecting with that. One of the things that the commissioners do so well is convene people, and one of the things I was noticing about town this weekend were the number of different beautiful murals that we have. And when we did the one for the veterans that was on the Amstutz building, there was talk about having a dedicated plaque. I know that Jason Annecy is still very much interested in that. And in the economic development update, they mentioned Jeanette with Visit Fairfield County. I think she'd like to do like a tour of murals. And it's probably a really good time maybe to convene even Terry Machonis and others and think about the layout and the style of those plaques so that there might be consistency amongst all of the murals. And that might be a good time to do that. I mention it simply because the conversation came up in passing and thought that the commissioners would be a good place to convene some of those folks.
All right, thank you. Tony. Rick.
Well, we got on the workforce side, we had a great first start to the school year where we had a parent night. We had 85 people attend. We've already had over 100 people sign up for Discovery Day, which is the first step to signing up for the program. So about 2 weeks ahead of last year, and something like that. And business
Nice.
and at least minimum of 2 per school district have already signed up for Discovery. So that's another thing to see. So we want all counties.
John Coaches.
Continue to work on our federal state applications that state will review with the state controlling board in September. So that's what the next notification we'll hear about public assistance. And the SBA is still considering a request.
So can we talk for a minute about federal? Because I've heard you say in this room that federal is not on the table.
Yeah, so federal is the SBA. So when we think federal, we all think FEMA, but FEMA, this is another program that's available within disaster assistance.
So Senator Moreno's office keeps calling me saying, hey, we got this letter from State Senator Schaefer And I need to call them back and ask them for what, supporting the SBA? Okay,
And his letter is asking for that SBA declaration.
got it, thank you. Dan?
I received word this week that the cybersecurity funding that was needed available at the federal level that was moved out to the states, and then the states were, kind of handing that out through grant programs. It does appear that we were awarded that, and it sounds like we'll be getting $20,000. So that was exciting news to get. To be able to reimburse some expenses that are related to cybersecurity. As I've mentioned, it seems to be cybersecurity time right now. Tomorrow, myself, along with 4 staff in the IT department, will be over at the Board of Elections, supporting them for their first ever cybersecurity audit with the Secretary of State. So, did a kind of a dry run last week. Feel pretty good about that. It's the first one ever, so.
Be interesting to hear back about that.
Yeah.
All right.
I was just giving you a quick update, something that you've probably heard about, but we'll continue to hear about error rates in terms of public assistance. And so more burden is being shifted to the states to pay for public assistance, in particular when the error rates are above 6%. And so Ohio is now starting an initiative to try to bring that error rate down as much as possible to avoid what could be several $100 million in cost to the state. So there are about 10 different initiatives that they're doing to try to bring that error rate down. And I wanted to note that the way that they measure that is not just there was an error on this case, and so that is 1, or that's a percentage of the total. It's actually based on the dollar amounts of the benefits that are issued. So if there's an error on a case, the dollar amount of the errors is the numerator, and the denominator is the total amount of benefits for the cases that they pulled. So not a one-to-one case situation, but I'll be giving updates on that more regularly, see how we're doing and how the state is doing, and hopefully bringing that error rate down under 6% statewide.
So I appreciate you bringing that up, first of all, because I haven't heard the words numerator and denominator used in quite some time.
I'm glad I can.
Yeah, we talked about this in our CCO session this morning. And I asked the question because I believe our county is in a much better position from an error rate than many other counties. If there's a way that our reimbursement rate could be tied to our error rate as opposed to the statewide error rate, and there's a conversation that's going on there. So anything we can do to help facilitate our error rate staying as low as you reported a couple weeks ago. You said 1.9% or something like that?
It was, right now it's 5%. And that's also an interesting thing because case that they pulled, they also randomly pull cases to measure that. And we've had 9 cases pulled during this year. The one that we had an error on was actually done by our caseworker at the initial application. Everything was done exactly right. Several months later, the customer got an increase in wages. So then they didn't report it, which they're required to do. So then when it was recertified, they found that the wages weren't accurately reported. So we got the error for that, even though it was a lack of reporting. There's no distinction as to if it's an actual caseworker error or customer.
Yeah, we talked about that as well, that it seems unfair that our error rate would get dinged because a customer does not report all the information that they're supposed to accurately. So there's a whole lot of conversation now that, the fire's turned up on this, the heat's turned up on it. A lot of conversations about what is a fair way to hold us accountable on an error rate, and then how we can get paid fairly as opposed to just one big group, right? So appreciate all your efforts on that. Yep. Jeff Porter?
No update. Thank you.
Old business, Commissioner Davis.
Really just
I don't know if we've got the president has decided what to do on the 30th, but there's some complications that day now of September.
We're not.
Okay. Nothing further.
Okay, Commissioner Levesey?
Last week, we had employee recognition at Snake Farms, and I thought all those who contributed to that, really did a nice job. And then Susan Nixon Stoughton was recognized in a surprise party when she retired from the lighthouse, and you know, she was really she will be surely missed.
All right, I have no old business or new business. Commissioner Levesey, new business.
So thank you.
Commissioner Davis, new business. Right, then I would ask if you all would rise if you're able. Join us in prayer of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all very much. Rochelle, do you have any announcements?
Yes, Resolution 2025-8.26.I was published yesterday under Family and Children First Council, but it is actually a JFS resolution, and it's been corrected on the agenda in front of you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Is there a motion for the approval of the minutes of the August 19th meeting?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Minutes passed 3-0. From the Commissioners, Resolution 2025-8.26.A, a resolution authorizing certifying drainage maintenance districts to the Fairfield County Auditor's Office.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From Fairfield County Auditor, Resolution 2025-8.26.B, resolution approving the account-to-account transfer into a major expenditure object category 1001 General Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
It's a proactive resolution to accommodate appropriations and proper classification of expenditures for contract under review.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. For the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, Resolution 2025-8.26.C, a resolution approving an account-to-account transfer into a major expenditure object category 2060 FCBDD.
Under Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, I'll move resolution C and D.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey? Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From the Fairfield County Board of Elections, Resolution 2025-8.26.E, a resolution to appropriate from unappropriated in a major expenditure object category for Fund 2861, Cybersecurity Secretary of State, Board of Elections.
So moved.
Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From the Fairfield County Engineer, Resolution 2025-8.26.F, resolution to change bridge load ratings.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From the Fairfield County Facilities, Resolution 2025-8.26.G, resolution to approve the contract bid award for the payment drive-through renovation project with Buena Environmental LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
I have a question.
Yes.
Just I know I've been briefed on this, but that 30,000 feet, just tell us more.
The correct way to remedy this situation is to fill the substructure with liquid concrete. So we'll have to be doing that. We do that through these little small holes and inject liquid concrete into the basement, if you will, of this building to
That was 30,000 feet.
Any,
I don't know how to do 30.
Getting in the weeds here.
any further discussion?
Yes, is this the drive-through down
Yes, the drive.
on Chestnut?
Yes.
And will it be out of use for a period of time?
It is.
It has been, but we hope to get it back in use by the end of the year.
And then that use will be,
Same as it always has.
go ahead and say it.
Collecting, for job and family services, child support, and for tax payments. Twice a year.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From Fairfield County Family and Children First Council, Resolution 2025-8.26.h. A resolution to request for appropriations for Fund 7521, Family Children First Council.
Move.
Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From Fairfield County Job and Family Services, Resolution 2025-8.26.i. A resolution regarding amendment for previously approved network placement and related services agreement between Family Wellness Solutions Incorporated and Child Protective Services Department.
Under Fairfield County Job and Family Services, I move resolutions I, J, and K.
Second. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From the Fairfield County Prosecutor, Resolution 2025-8.26.l. A resolution approving a fund-to-fund transfer from the prosecutor's local match allocation to Fund 2784.
So moved.
Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. From the Fairfield County Sheriff, Resolution 2025-8.26.m. A resolution approving an account-to-account transfer into major expenditure object category 231000101 general fund.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah. It's not on the subject matter of the resolution, but I've known Officer Gasser since he was a very young man. And I knew that he joined the SO recently, but I wanted to take an opportunity to welcome him. I appreciate you and what you're doing, sir.
Appreciate it. Well,
Thank you, Mr. President.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. Payment of bills, Resolution 2025-8.26.n. A resolution authorizing the approval of payment of invoices for departments that need Board of Commissioners approval.
So moved.
Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner Davis?
Yes.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0. The next regular meeting is scheduled for Thursday, September 4th at 10 a.m.
We certainly appreciate Deputy Romine being here today, too.
Oh, come on now.
Every day. All right, is there any other business before the commission this afternoon? Yeah, I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you all very much for coming today.